Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out the brand new SoulSync ANC True Wireless Earbuds. Now this is the brand new active noise canceling earbuds from the company Soul. They come in retailing at $100, so this is one of those pairs where you can get active noise canceling without having to spend an arm and a leg. But we're going to check out to see if the active noise canceling is any good, how good the sound is, what you get inside the box, and see if it's actually worth the $100 price tag. Now to start with, these are available in 3 different colors. There is a black model, there's one that they call a frost, which really just looks like a green, and then we have a blue model, which is the pair that we're going to check out here. Now they do have a 12mm dynamic driver, they are using Bluetooth 5.1, and they have AAC playback. So right off the bat, that's pretty impressive given the price. Now as far as the IP rating, they do come in rated at IPX4, and that seems to be about the standard when it comes to noise canceling earbuds. So if you're wanting to use these out and about, you're going to be fine if it starts to rain or if they get splashed on, but this is not a pair that you can submerge into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, they've included the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. They've also included a carabiner, which is a nice add-on because if you do want to clip this onto your bag or whatever and not actually have to keep this in your pocket, that's just a nice bonus. And then outside of that, the charging cable they've included is a USB-C cable. Speaking of the charging cable, battery life is just pretty decent on these. You can get 5.5 hours on the earbuds with around 25 hours if you use these with the noise canceling turned off. And then if you want to use them with the noise canceling turned on, you can look to get around 5 hours on the earbud with around 22 hours using the case. So there's really not that much of a difference if you're going to use these with the noise canceling on or off when it comes to the battery life. Now moving over to looking at the case, I actually like the design of this. It has somewhat of a slick feel to it. It's a little wide, but it still is pretty slim. Now on the back, you have your USB-C input for charging, and then you have a single indicator light next to it so that you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. So there is no fast charge feature on these, and the case is not a Qi wireless charging case. So that is something you probably want to know when checking these out. So moving over to looking at the earbuds themselves, these definitely resemble the SoulSync Pros that we checked out a little while ago. They do have the stem style design, but it is a very short stem. It doesn't look obnoxious in your ear. It's not something that stands out like the original AirPods do. And they also use touch controls. And I'm happy to say that they give you control over everything. So you have your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and even volume control. And on top of that, you're even able to switch between the 3 different modes that these earbuds have, which is basically a standard mode with your noise canceling turned off. You have a noise canceling on mode, and then you have a transparency mode or an ambient mode, which basically has the microphones pull in your surroundings so that you're able to hear some of the things around you. And I think these do a very good job with the transparency mode, and I also think that they have very good noise canceling as well. I was pretty impressed with these. On top of having good passive noise canceling with the earbuds actually being in your ear, I feel like the active noise canceling is doing a good job of blocking out more of the lower tones. So, engine noises, if you're going to be on a plane, those low rumble type noises, it does a good job of blocking out. But when it comes to people talking around you or any other high frequency sounds, those tones do tend to leak in a little bit. It still is doing a pretty decent job of blocking all of that out. It's not on the Sony or Bose level, but the Sonys are $230 and the Bose are $280. So we're talking about a pretty wide price gap. So you do have to kind of curb your expectations when it comes to the noise canceling. Now, for you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right. And then when it comes to the microphones on here, I also think this is doing a pretty decent job as far as phone calls. I think it picks up my voice fairly well. I don't feel like it sounds too digital, which it's kind of hard to get around that, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the SoulSync ANCs. Again, I think this is doing a very good job of picking up my voice, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. So now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. Hope.
So now before I give my opinion on the sound, this is the part of the video where I want to play you guys some samples. That way you can kind of hear some of the characteristics of the earbuds themselves. Now obviously it's going to sound a little bit different depending on what earbuds or speakers you guys are using, but at least you'll be able to tell if it sounds congested or muddy or how some of the details are picked up. So let's go ahead and check out some of those samples here.
We keep moving in different rhythms. Still, I know what you feel.
So now that you guys have heard some samples, I want to give you my opinion on the sound. Overall, I was very pleased with the sound coming from these. Now, I do want to point out with the noise canceling turned on, the bass tends to get a little bit of a boost and it does have a slightly warmer sound, but there's not that much of a difference between the noise canceling turned on and turned off when it comes to audio quality. Now, when it comes to the bass on these, the bass is actually pretty tight. It's not loose in any way. It still has plenty of impact, but if you are a bass head wanting that low-end rumble or subwoofer type feel, this may not be the pair for you. But if you are somebody that likes to hear a lot of details and a lot of accuracy in your music, this is what this pair is made for, because the mids are definitely pushed forward. I had no issues with hearing any vocalists, no matter what genre I was listening to. I also felt like the treble was boosted in a way where you can just hear all the subtle sounds of different instruments. Overall, it was just really clean sounding, and I didn't feel like anything was lacking. Now, when it comes to the sound stage and the sound imaging, I felt like they did a very good job here as well. I always felt like I was in a larger room and I had no issues with telling where different instruments were coming from. I could hear a lot of subtle sounds, and it's because of the mids and the treble being the main focus on these. Now, as far as some of my cons with these, I really only have two. One is I wish that the case was a Qi wireless charging case, and then the other is I wish that there was some sort of fast charge feature. And that's mainly because in this price range, this is something that I've gotten used to. But outside of that, to be able to get active noise canceling that's doing a very good job on top of having some pretty decent features and some really good audio quality makes these a nice pickup for $100. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Soul Sync ANCs. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.